You drift through the passages of your life, haunted by a question that seems to rise from the ocean floor of consciousness. Have I fulfilled what I came here to accomplish? This isn't idle curiosity speaking. It's the ancient voice of your soul remembering promises made before drawing first breath in this incarnation. The question surfaces during pre-dawn hours, when the membrane between worlds grows gossamer thin, when ordinary reality loosens its grip and deeper truths seep through. Within you pulses a knowing that transcends rational thought, a divine spark that recalls the sacred contract signed before your arrival. Sometimes you feel the weight of something unfinished, like carrying dormant seeds in your spirit's hidden garden. Other moments bring strange sensations of completion, subtle hints that perhaps your cycle approaches its closing arc. But how do we read these ethereal signals? How do we decode the universe's constant communication through daily life's symbolic language? There exists a celestial dialect speaking through synchronicity's winds, intuition's waters, transformation's flames, and manifestation's earth. Developing fluency in these cosmic signs resembles growing a new sensory organ, one attuned to reality's invisible fabric, recognizing when your purpose threads weave into existence's divine tapestry. Should these words stir something deep within, consider walking this path alongside kindred seekers. Stay connected as we explore the mysteries your own existence harbors. The primary indicator that you're approaching spiritual mission fulfillment manifests as profound inner peace persisting through external storms. Your soul recognizes familiar landscapes in apparently unknown territories. Mystical traditions speak of universal memory banks where every soul contract remains inscribed in luminous characters. When we unconsciously access these records, cosmic familiarity envelops us. Imagine traversing an unfamiliar forest when suddenly you recognize a brook's melody you've never heard, yet your essence has always known existed. This sensation permeates those nearing purpose completion. Recognition transcends conscious mind. Knowing emerges from being's depths. As mission fulfillment begins, the universe responds through increasingly frequent synchronicities. People materialize at precise moments, doors open effortlessly, previously impossible situations align with divine mathematical precision. Reality's invisible threads start revealing the design you came to embroider. These meaningful coincidences represent the universe's acknowledgement system. One woman's story illuminates this phenomenon. After decades searching for purpose, white feathers began appearing in improbable locations. Each feather manifested during doubt-filled moments, as if creation whispered encouragement. Months later, she discovered her calling involved establishing a sanctuary for wounded birds. Those feathers were heaven's breadcrumbs leading homeward. Ancient wisdom keepers understood initiatory dreams, visions marking crucial soul journey transitions. When you experience recurring dreams featuring arrival themes, completion symbols, or celebrations, pay attention. Your deeper self may be preparing consciousness to recognize an important phase's conclusion. People approaching mission completion report vivid dreams containing conclusion symbols, bridges successfully crossed, books closing after final pages, encounters with luminous beings whispering confirmations. These constitute recognition seals, when soul knows before mind comprehends. Spiritual missions concern becoming more than doing. When retrospective observation reveals you're unrecognizable from who began this journey, brilliant confirmation appears. Former bleeding wounds now tell healing stories through scars. Paralyzing fears transformed into ascension stepping stones. This internal metamorphosis perhaps represents the most reliable indicator of divine purpose fulfillment. Consider the caterpillar's journey into chrysalis, complete dissolution before butterfly emerges. Our spiritual path mirrors this process. When previous self-versions no longer exist, when identity-defining thought patterns simply evaporate, you witness mission's alchemy unfolding. True mission always involves interior alchemy, transmuting ignorance's lead into wisdom's gold. You recognize this process when behavioral patterns dissolve without struggle or drama. Illusion layers gently peel away, revealing crystalline essence always present. Buddhist teachings share a story about a monk spending years polishing a tile, attempting mirror transformation. His master observed, then asked his purpose. Hearing the response, the master said, "Just as polishing cannot transform tile into mirror, External practices alone cannot achieve enlightenment. The mirror already exists within. Simply remove the dust. Our spiritual mission frequently involves this removal process, not acquisition, but revelation of ever-present truth. A mystical phenomenon occurs during this stage. You radiate different light. People inexplicably gravitate toward your presence, drawn not by words but by essence. Your vibrational frequency becomes a silent lighthouse, fulfilling mission aspects through elevated consciousness alone. Children and animals, beings maintaining connection to original purity, demonstrate special sensitivity to this frequency shift. A holistic therapist reported that following years of intensive inner work, strangers in supermarkets, bank queues, and public spaces spontaneously initiated profound conversations, sharing existential pains and spiritual quests. No external identifier marked him as healer. His energy field had become healing's wordless invitation. Every spiritual mission interweaves with karmic relationships' golden threads. Approaching purpose completion brings peculiar phenomena. Certain seemingly eternal connections naturally dissolve, while others deepen transcendentally. The universe appears to reorganize your soul circle for journey's next phase. Ancient traditions speak of cosmic order governing all relationships. When aligned with purpose, connections naturally harmonize with this higher arrangement. People no longer resonating with your new frequency gently drift away, while others vibrating similarly appear through spiritual magnetism. Soul contracts reach fulfillment and closure. That turbulent relationship, resembling an endless labyrinth, suddenly finds resolution. The person requiring forgiveness appears in dreams, simultaneously requesting and offering reconciliation. Imprisoning bonds transform into liberating wings. One woman shared how, after decades of maternal conflict, she awakened with crystalline comprehension of their soul contract. She perceived, in waking vision, how they'd agreed before birth to challenge each other toward growth. That same day, without prior conversation, her mother called apologizing for lifetime misunderstandings. The contract stood complete. Ancient wisdom states, when lessons complete, teachers disappear. Throughout your journey, you'll notice certain crucial individuals simply continue their paths without conflict or drama, merely with serenity befitting those who fulfilled their roles in creation's divine theater. Among the deepest signs of mission fulfillment emerges silent mastery in areas representing former greatest challenges. Not ostentatious or prideful mastery, but natural competence flowing like water finding course. This transformation occurs so organically you might remain unaware until others highlight changes. If your mission involved learning unconditional love, you find yourself loving without expectations. If concerning courage, you act bravely without recognition. If about healing, your words and presence become others' balm without conscious effort. This mastery originates beyond ego, soul expressing essential nature after removing illusion's veils. An entrepreneur who struggled with business compassion discovered himself, following years of inner work, naturally creating policies benefiting both employees and profits. He didn't force this change. It emerged organically when his mission integrating spirituality and commerce began fulfillment. Spiritual masters always knew. True mastery remains invisible even to its possessor. Like breathing, you don't contemplate it, it simply happens. When mission fulfills, you operate from divine flow where doing and being merge indistinguishably. Ancient texts express beautifully, masters act without acting and teach without speaking. As mission approaches completion, inexplicable gratitude permeates existence. Not merely appreciation for positive experiences, but profound recognition of journey's totality, including soul's darkest nights, despair moments, seemingly unbearable losses. This gratitude transcends logical understanding. It's a state recognizing perfection within apparent imperfection. You comprehend cellularly that each challenge constituted necessary steps, every tear sacred water nurturing evolution's seeds. This gratitude isn't mental, it's visceral, cosmic, embracing experience's wholeness as perfectly orchestrated divine gift. Mystical traditions call this complete gratitude, simultaneously surrender and celebration. A profound trauma survivor described how years following healing, gratitude waves encompassed even suffered abuse. Not approving what happened, but recognizing how that experience transformed him into healing beacon for fellow survivors. His wound had become gift, mission born from greatest pain. In this state, retrospective viewing reveals the winding path's perfection. Coincidences reveal themselves as constellation points long ago drawn. Errors display as necessary detours conducting you precisely where needed, as if viewing the divine map unconsciously followed throughout life. Among the most mystical transformations occurring when approaching mission fulfillment involves temporal relationship changes. Chronological time, that tyrant imprisoning us within deadlines and urgencies, begins yielding to sacred time, the opportune moment where everything happens in perfect cosmic synchronicity. You perceive increasing presence, less future anxiety, reduced past imprisonment. Everything seems occurring at perfect timing, even when mind attempts contrary conviction. As if entering cosmic dance, where each step synchronizes with celestial music. This temporal perception shift clearly signals divine purpose alignment. People experiencing this state report curious expanded time sensations, days containing weeks of experience, or years passing like gentle breezes. It signals alignment with mission's temporal flow, no longer fighting current but navigating with it. Great minds touch this truth, noting time's relativity. In purpose fulfillment, we experience this relativity viscerally. Paradoxically, when spiritual mission approaches completion, consciousness horizons glimpse the next evolutionary octave. Like reaching a mountain summit, only discovering it was merely foothills of greater ranges. This revelation brings not discouragement but sacred excitement, soul recognizing its infinite nature, rejoicing in endless journey. This doesn't signal incompleteness but infinite evolution. Your soul recognizes spiritual missions resemble ascending spirals, each completed revolution simultaneously ending and beginning. What changes is consciousness altitude, vision amplitude, love depth you're capable of emanating. Mystical traditions always knew. No final arrival exists, only continuous consciousness expansions. You might feel this calling as sacred restlessness, different from worldly anxiety. It's gentle invitation, not demand. Universe's voice whispering, blessed for what you've accomplished, ready for more? This restlessness doesn't disturb achieved deep peace. It dances upon it, like ripples across a profound, serene lake's surface. The final most revealing sign you're fulfilling spiritual mission involves return to simplicity, but luminous simplicity, distilled through experience's fire. No need remains proving anything. External recognition becomes irrelevant. Results attachment dissolves. This simplicity isn't absence but full presence, what remains when superfluity burns in transformation's fire. Like wisdom traditions speaking of effortless action, you discover greatest accomplishments happen through you, not by you. Mission fulfills as you become clear channel for divine flow, without ego obstructions, fear interferences. You become hollow bamboo through which creation's wind creates music. This simplicity isn't spiritual poverty, but distilled wealth, like diamonds revealing crystalline clarity after countless pressure years. You become, in mystical poetry, a flute through which divine breath flows. No separation remains between you and mission. You've become one. The journey fulfilling spiritual purpose follows neither linear nor predictable paths. It's spiral dance with mystery, romance with unknown, adventure transcending single incarnation limits, signs perpetually present, whispering through intuition winds, shining in touched soul's eyes, echoing in heart silence when finally ceasing doing and simply allowing being. Perhaps the question isn't, have I fulfilled my mission? But rather, am I allowing myself as instrument through which divinity fulfills its mission? For ultimately, we discover we were never authors, but brushes in creation's hands, each life unique stroke in infinity's masterpiece. And you, pilgrim soul, where do you recognize yourself along this sacred journey? Which signs have danced through your experience unnoticed? Share your lived truth. Each voice represents cosmic puzzle pieces, And your story might be exactly what another soul needs, recognizing their own path.